Hello, good evening and welcome to the Saturday Match Live. We're coming to you from Stamford Bridge for the big game of the day in the Premier League and possibly arguably the great game of the weekend even, between Chelsea and Arsenal, a London derby. So much on it, Sarri against Emery. The battle of the new bosses, and just to bring you the two 11s, we will go to the classified football results in just a second to see how your team has done. But just to let you know the team lineups, we will reiterate them at the start. It's going to be me, John Statar, commentating and presenting. Chris Whiteman, who was again down to do the game, has got he's not so good at the moment, and we wish him a very speedy recovery. Right, the Chelsea lineup is as follows: Arizabalga is the goalkeeper, £70 million from Spain. Azpilicueta running at David Luiz, Alonso, Kante, Jorginho, Barkley, William, Morata up front, and Pedro. On the bench, Hazard, Caballero, the goalkeeper, Moses, Kovacic, Libya, Giroud, Zabacosta, and Christensen. Arsenal lineup as follows: Petr ex-Chelsea in goal. Samtonopoulos, Mustafa Monreal, Guendouzi, Xhaka, Mkhitaryan, Ozil and Welby, and Aubameyang up front. On the bench, Leno, Elneny, Ramsey, Lacazette, Torreira, Lichtsteiner and Welbeck. So Eden Hazard starts on the bench for Chelsea. No place in the 18 incidentally for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who came on at Huddersfield last week. Right, before we build up to the big match, let's go through the full classified check, because there have been other football played earlier today. So let's do the full classified check. Starting with the Premier League. Cardiff City 0, Newcastle United 0. Chelsea and Arsenal, that's coming up live on this channel. Everton 2, Southampton 1. Leicester 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Fulham 1. And West Ham 1, Bournemouth 2. So into the Sky Bet Championship now. Bristol City 0, Middlesbrough 2. Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Ipswich 1, Aston Villa 1. Leeds United 2, Rotherham 0. Millwall 2, Derby County 1. Preston against Stoke City, that's an evening kick-off at Detail at 5:30. Reading 0, Bolton Wanderers 1. Sheffield United 2, Norwich City 1. West Bromwich Albion 7, Queen's Park Rangers 1. And Wigan Athletic 2, Nottingham Forest 2. League 1. Accrington Stanley 1, Charlton Athletic 1. Barnsley 0, AFC Wimbledon 0. Burton Albion 1, Doncaster Rovers 0. Coventry City 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. Fleetwood Town 2, Rochdale 2. Peterborough 3, Luton Town 1. Portsmouth 4, Oxford United 1. Shrewsbury 0, Blackpool 0. Southend 2, Bradford 0. Walsall 2, Gillingham 1. And Wycombe Wanderers 1, Bristol Rovers 2. Sky Bet League 2 now. Bury 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. Cheltenham 0, Carlisle United 1. Crewe Alexandra 0, the MK Dons 0. Exeter 1, Newport County 1. Grimsby Town 1, Lincoln City 1. Mansfield Town 1, Colchester United 1. Northampton Town 2, Cambridge United 2. Oldham Athletic 3, Macclesfield 1. Port Vale 1, Crawley Town 0. Stevenage 1, Morecambe 0. And Swindon 3, Tranmere Rovers 2. The Vanarama National League. Aldershot 0, Harrogate Town 2. Barnet 0, Ebbsfleet 3. Braintree 3, Havant and Waterlooville 4. Bromley 1, Gateshead 0. Eastleigh 1, Wrexham 3. AFC File 4, Dover 0. FSC Halifax Town 2, Dagenham Redbridge 1. Hartlepool 2, Maidenhead 1. Lake Norient 1, Bournemouth 0. Maidstone United 1, Barrow 0. Salford City 3, Chesterfield 2. And Solihull Moors 2, Sutton United 2. Into Scotland now, and it's the Betfred Cup second round. Aberdeen 4, St Mirren 0. Dundee 0, Ayr United 3. Dunfermline 0, Hearts 1. Livingston 0, Motherwell 1, Partick Thistle 1, Celtic 3, and Queen of the South 1, St Johnstone 2. That's a late score. Ladbrokes League 1, Dumbarton 1, Arbroath 1, Forfar 0, Stranraer 0, Montrose 2, Brecon City 1, Raith Rovers 2, East Fife 2, Stenhouse Muir 1, Adrionians 2. League 2, Ladbrokes League 2, Albion 0, Elgin 1, Annan 3, Queen's Park 1, Cowdenbeath 4, Berwick Rangers 0, Edinburgh City 3, Stirling 1, and Peterhead 1, Clyde 0. JD Welsh Premier League, Carmarthen 0, London 0, and Kedden Druids 2, Nenefli Town 3. Danske Bank Premiership in Ireland, Ards 1, Ballymena 2, Crusaders 0, Linfield 2, Dungannon Swiss 1, Cliftonville 1, Glentoran 2, Coleraine 2, and finally Institute 2, Warren Point Town 0. So that keeps you well up to date with all the scores. Tottenham are the new leaders at the moment with the Premier League with 6 points out of 6. Then come Bournemouth, and Everton and Liverpool completing the top 4. Chelsea are currently lying 5th, with Palace 6th, Watford 8th, Sand City 8th. Burnley still 11th place there. Wolves in 14th place. Cardiff getting their first points up to 15. Arsenal yet to play tonight, could move into the top half with a win. Middlesbrough now the new leaders, a point clear of Leeds, who won today. Middlesbrough winning at Bristol City, Leeds beating Rotherham 2-0. Then come West Brom, Aston Villa, Bolton and Swansea in the playoffs, with Forest, Sheffield United, Millwall and Blackburn all chasing. At the wrong end of the table, Hull, Reading and QPR at the moment looking in complete danger. Stoke yet really to get off the mark, but they've got to play at Preston North End in just about 10 minutes time. At the top of the Skybet League 1, 200% records at the moment. Peterborough and Portsmouth joint top with 9 points each. Then come Barnsley, Walsall and Gillingham. At the wrong end of the table, Shrewsbury, Luton, Wickham and Oxford occupying the wrong end of the table, with Blackpool perilously close as well. At the top of League 2, Exeter, Lincoln and Stevenage all joint top, or NK Dons with just outside in 4th place. Then come Port Vale, Swindon Town and Forest Green in the playoffs. At the opposite end of the table, Morecambe in big trouble. No points, -9 goal difference. Real trouble there for them. Macclesfield above them in 23rd, with Northampton and one or two others. Wrexham are the leaders at the top of the Vanarama League. They're a point clear of Halifax Town. Then come Fylde, Sutton, Gateshead, Solihull and Harrogate in the playoffs. At the wrong end of the table, Barnet, relegated last year, struggling at the moment in 22nd place, with Braintree, Dagenham and Redbridge and Maidenhead all in the relegation places. So we're going to get, we were going to get some reaction. Hopefully we'll get some reaction. This is Harry Kane. He actually scored in August, and here he is talking to the media. Unfortunately, we haven't got hold of Harry Kane, so, but well, the build-up to this game is well upon us, and but Harry Kane scoring in August. Some very good results there. Bournemouth winning at West Ham. That was not what we expected. I must admit, it was supposed to be an handsome West Ham victory. Kane really darting well. I saw a bit of their match against Southampton today, and I thought they were very impressive. Just as impressive as I thought they were. Saturday match offering. And for those people that are commenting, don't forget, like last week, we want to hear JB Live. So JB Live is the hashtag if you want to contact me this evening. It is a big game, so we are hopefully looking forward to bringing it to you live and absolutely free. You don't pay a subscription with me. We do it for absolutely free. We were due to have Chris Whiteman in the commentary box, but unfortunately he's not so good, and he's not been too good lately, so he said he couldn't make it, so I've kindly stepped into the breach, as it were, and I'm more than happy to do that for him. this evening, and it's a big game as well. Just to remind you, remember, don't forget hashtag JB Live. It's important that you come up with that when you're commenting, and we want comments about the game as well. We've heard too much about silly questions about why is the game not live on the telly and all that sort of thing. When you're commenting, you know, why we're not seeing moving pictures and the like. Well, the simple answer is we get done for copyright. So let's not have any questions about that. Let's just get on with the game, and we'll look forward to that. We're just waiting for the teams to come out. So just to remind you, there's a little message I'm going to put on the comment section. Talk about, this is what you got to, this is the criteria for the chat tonight. So when you message me, talk about the match and use the hashtag and I think this is important, and use the hashtag JB Live. There you go, simples. There you are. That's the criteria. So there you are. That's should be coming up on the screen any moment now. There you go. So as I said, don't forget hashtag JB Live for all your comments. So it's important that you do that, and it's important to me basically that you do that, because I think it's, you know, it shows that you're respecting what we're doing on the channel and everything else, and it really is. So we're just waiting for the teams to come out here at Stamford Bridge for the big game of the day, Chelsea against Arsenal. I'm just rattling my papers here because we had to do a whole hour's worth of prep before this match, and it should be a cracking atmosphere, I have to say. Stamford Bridge, an early season game. Arsenal lost their match 2-0 against Manchester City, a ruthless Manchester City, but they looked in some disarray. I am backing Arsenal to win. If anyone saw the Facebook vid that was on last night, and so I said, we're just waiting for the two teams to come out. I think this will be an absolute crackeroonie. So as I say, JB Live is the place to be, as Stamford Bridge is filling up quite nicely now prior to the start of this match. London derby, fierce London derby, so much resting on this. Arsenal Chelsea has always had the tendency to be a cracking match over the years. Well, we're hoping tonight's confrontation will not be so different. We've had plenty of goals, plenty of controversy over the years. No Mourinho or Wenger now in these parts of the world these days. It's Sarri against Henry, and it's the first Arsenal game I've done when Arsene Wenger's not been the manager, and the teams are in the tunnel. Petr Cech lining up against his old team. Remember, if you are messaging, talk about the match, use the hashtag JB Live. We don't, no spammers. We got 4 moderators on the channel, 5-6 moderators on the channel. Claret Claire has now joined I've asked Claret Claire to join our moderators team, and hopefully we'll be able to join in as well. Petr Cech leading out Arsenal, incidentally, and the team's about to come out to a big cauldron of noise inside Stamford Bridge here now. What an atmosphere. I cannot wait for this. It's a marvellous occasion. That's Blaqueta leading out Chelsea. Onto the field they go. Full house. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, the whole shebang. Should be an absolute crackerjack. And you can listen to the whole match live here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Pyrotechnics, now fire coming out. It's just unbelievable. Starting a new season, they're also spraying water onto the pitch as well to make it that little bit more slicker. Teams just walking out onto the field, and there was a time back in the day where they used to just run out on the field and warm up. They've got to go through the old ritual of shaking hands these days, and which is good for the game. It shows the game up in a very nice and professional image, as this league is watched by over 400 million around the world each week. So the teams shake hands here at Stamford Bridge. We're almost set to bring you the full match commentary of the game. As regards odds, Morata and Aubameyang both to score. Was 4-1, now 6-1 with Ladbrokes. Okay, now that price is with Ladbrokes. Please gamble responsibly, though, folks, if you are having a flutter on tonight's game. So we're ready to go here at Stamford Bridge. Right, let me give you the two lineups first of all. Let's start, of course, with the home team, Chelsea, with Kepa in goal. Then it's Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Luis, Alonso, Kante, Jorginho, Barkley, Pedro, Morata and Willian. On the bench, Caballero, Christensen, Zabacosta, Victor Moses, Mateo Kovacic, Eden Hazard and Olivier Giroud. We're going to say Kepa because his last name is quite a handful there. So Kepa will be the name we use in commentary. As for Arsenal, checking goal, Hector Bellerin, Mustafi Skokaratis is this we're using as the commentary name for that one, as is Papastanopoulos. That's quite a handful again to say that quickly. So we're going to say his first name, Nacho Monreal, Gwenzuayi, Xhaka, Mkhitaryan, Ozil, Iwobi and Aubameyang. And on the bench we've got Leno, Elneny, Ramsey, Lacazette, Torreira, Lichtsteiner and Danny Welbeck. Referee this evening for this big game is a Yorkshireman, Martin Atkinson from Bradford in West Yorkshire. This is the Chelsea goalkeeper making his home league debut tonight. That's Kepa. We're going to call him Kepa, although his last name is Haris Takabala, but we're going to call him Kepa, first name for short. He's a bit of a tongue-tied one there. The man he helps to keep out Pierre Aubameyang. There's Sarri, the new Chelsea manager, Maurizio Sarri. He looked at odds with himself at Wembley a couple of weeks ago, and of course Umar Emre, the Arsenal manager, whose team were beaten quite conclusively by 2-0 against Manchester City last week. So the first of our two live matches are underway. It's Arsenal in red and white, the away team there, kicking off, attacking the goal to our right hand side. Chelsea all in blue with white socks, blue shirts, blue shorts. And Kepa, the goalkeeper, with the first opportunity to kick clear with his right foot. Oh, well, kick out towards the far side and picked up once again. An opportunity now for Aubameyang forward, and Aubameyang gets a shot in, and Kepa had to get down to his right hand side at his near post to gather that in. And Arsenal, they're just starting with a little bit of an intent there, closing Chelsea down at every opportunity. Good pressing there from the Gunners in the first 40 seconds or so, and they've got possession again over on the far side. They did showing glimpses at the Emirates last week that they are a threat on the break, and they caused Manchester City one or two problems. There's Unai Emery, Arsenal's manager. I don't like the words head coach. It's the manager. You know, I'm a grumpy old man when it comes to titles of managers and things like that. The head coach bit is just ridiculous. Gillingham won Walsall 2. Yes, the 100% record did go for Gillingham today, unfortunately, but there's still a long way to go in the season. But Panini, good to have you with us. Panini, I know you've not been with us for a couple of weeks or so, but if you are commenting now in future, hashtag JB Live is the cry now. And we're going to get into the habit of doing JB Live now for the hashtags. So we are now moving into the old intergalactic age here on the JB Clark YouTube channel with the messages. Right, here comes David Luiz, back restored to the lineup under Sari, having been frozen out. Willian now down the left hand side, a little flick round the corner, then the number 8 there, Barkley, couldn't keep it in play. Wins a throw in, however, down on the near touchline, halfway inside the Arsenal half. Back to Luiz on halfway, just to the left hand side, then threads it out towards the far side, and a header there quite comfortably won there by Nacho Monreal over on the far side. Chelsea incidentally attacking the goal to our left, and that's the shed end. Pedicek in a short sleeve goalkeeper's jersey. And on the bench, Leno is their goalkeeper for Arsenal. Second choice in the moment. Emery keeping faith with Pedicek even after his almost horrible pass across the goal, which almost led to one of the most comical goals you'll ever see, as David Luiz tries a shot from all of 35 yards with his right foot and goes into the shed behind for a goal kick. That would have been some goal if he'd have managed to hit the target there. You just saw Cech a little bit off his line, and Cech obviously had the wherewithal to scamper back and make sure that was going over the top. David Luiz does have a reputation of a fierce shooting reputation. He's not a bad hitter of a ball for a centre back, David Luiz. As Morata has possession for Chelsea, brings it out to Kante. Kante over to the far side, and this time Chelsea's turn to attack. Comfortable winners against Huddersfield. Another shot coming in, this time from the right hand side, and it was Pedro with his left foot just to the right of the penalty area. Just hitting one just wayward there, just sailing over the bar and into the Arsenal fans behind Peter Cech's goal for a goal kick. 3.5 minutes gone. 3 minutes 40 seconds gone here. The Saturday game live here from Stamford Bridge. The Premier League coverage is yet has yielded one goalless draw out of four matches covered live so far this season. We had that goalless draw at Southampton last week, you may remember. Little flick round the corner towards Morata, but really good defending again this time from Skoratis. And JB, look at this. Panini, he's out an absolute character. If you ever watch his channel, he's a character as well. Let's check JB Live. There's only one JB Live, only one JB Lives. I only asked for the one hashtag. I didn't exactly want you to write a song about it, but thank you very much. Right, back to the game. 4.5 minutes gone. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. This is Willian darting in from the left hand side. Infield to N'Golo Kante, just inside the centre circle. Still in the Arsenal half. Now the ball over to the far side. That's requested to Pedro. Pedro back inside to Kante. Kante on halfway. I lost my teeth then for a second. Now here's Marcos Alonso on the left hand side. Halfway inside the Arsenal half. Still 0-0 here. Barkley now finds Runninger. Runninger finds Jorginho. Tries to play into Barkley. Had made a good darting run. He's having a little bit of a run in the side, Ross Barkley, having been phased out initially. Times he's run nicely well there, but just the ball from Jorginho was just a little bit too strong maybe, and Barkley couldn't quite reach that one. I think if he had controlled it then I think it might have been an open shut case there, as Cech continues to try and play out from the back again. Chelsea will be aware of Pedicek's incompetence when playing out from the back, as we saw there, and again plays it across his goal but not too perilously close, and then the ball back. Why didn't he just put the foot through it then? And now he does so. Must have heard my prophecy there, and it's 0-0 and the ball out of play on the far side for a throw-in. Cech does take chances. We saw against Manchester City. I'm sure you'll have seen against Manchester City. He took a real chance, almost scored an own goal, and attempted to pass towards the left hand side, towards the right hand side, and he was made to look rather foolish. Here's Kante to Willian, left of the penalty area, or the left of the D. Now the ball goes to the left of the penalty area, and here's Alonso with a little low cross, knocked away was time by the Arsenal defender Mustafi. Mustafi now gets it away, and now here come Arsenal now on the break, and Mkhitaryan loses out, the man they got from Manchester United, as a make weight in the Alexis Sanchez deal back in January. Here's a chance now for Morata. Morata, it breaks to Pedro. Pedro now has got Alonso to his left, just playing a nice little neat triangle passes now, and now the ball down on the left hand side. 0-0. 7 minutes gone. Don't forget, JB Live. Earlier today, Cardiff 0, Newcastle United 0. Kennedy missed a penalty in that game. Everton 2, Southampton 1. Good impressive start by Everton. Leicester 2, Wolves 0. I have to tell you that Jamie Vardy was sent off in that one. Harry Kane scored for the first time in August as Tottenham beat Fulham 3-1 and Bournemouth won at the London Stadium by 2-1 this afternoon. Offside against one of the Chelsea players on a free kick to Arsenal. Coming up towards 7.5 minutes gone in the late game, 0-0. And what are the chances of the Cardiff match being last on match of the day? Kennedy missing the penalty, and here come Arsenal now as the ball comes in and just wide inside the 6-yard box. Mesut Ozil must have stuck out a right foot, knocked it goalwards. It was Monreal making the break down the left hand side, put a wickedly low cross in. Chelsea didn't really defend it that well. Lovely approach play, and Monreal doing fantastically well. Gets the crossing first time, and it just needed better contact from Ozil, and that was 1-0 to Arsenal. And I've backed Arsenal to win the game today at 3-2, because Chelsea did look a little bit suspect. I know it was the Community Shield, but they weren't up for it. And in spells against Huddersfield, although they blew Huddersfield away, Huddersfield did cause one or two troubles for that Chelsea defence, and on another day they could have had a couple of goals, the Huddersfield side. And they've got the unenviable task of Manchester City next up, and here's Alonso bursting down the left hand side, bowling across to the centre and turned in to the back of the net by Pedro. Arsenal had a chance at one end through Ozil, they didn't take it, and then 60 seconds later a wonderful ball put Alonso in the clear on the left hand side, and his low cross was diverted in from 11 yards out by Pedro, and Arsenal are 1-0 down. Really good play from Sarri's team. Gianfranco Zola there with him as well, but lovely football here. Great play, and this really was a good move. No doubt at all that Alonso was onside. Cech was way out of his goal, and no doubt at all that Pedro was in a very good position to tuck that one away. Definitely onside. Good finish this there. Cool finish on with 9.5 minutes gone at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. And we have a goal in the late game. And it was a superb finish with his left foot. And Sarri, yes, that's more like it. He's a very positive man, he's Sarri, that is for sure. So Pedro, the former Barcelona man, 9 minutes. 1-0 to Chelsea. And, well, they haven't lost two for a long, long time. Their first two matches, Arsenal. And at the moment, Emery's side in big trouble. Arsenal were just caught out the offside trap. I wonder what Tony Adams and Martin Keown would have made of that defending. Lee Dixon as well, that brilliant Arsenal back four. Cech looked all over the place on that goal, I've got to say. He was a really class keeper at one point. Since he's gone to Arsenal, he hasn't been the goalkeeper we all expect him to be. I know he's a much older goalkeeper than what he was at Chelsea, but he knows the characteristics of most of that Chelsea squad. Possession statistics, interesting. 70% Chelsea, 30% Arsenal. You usually see Arsenal boss possession in a lot of the games you've watched Arsenal play. And here's Willian now inside the centre, and they're looking for a second goal. The ball might break to Barkley. The ball will be knocked away by Arsenal, but only given away to Alonso. We'll claim the assist on that opening goal. 10 and 3/4 minutes gone, and now David Luiz to get the ball back to keeper, and keeper just or Kepa gets the ball forward. So running in out for Chelsea. 1-0 they lead here at Stamford Bridge, and they could go joint top. Spurs are the current pace setters at the top of the Premier League tonight after their victory at Wembley this afternoon by 3-1. And the added bonus of Harry Kane finally scoring a goal in August. That Ludu is now off the back. And here goes Barkley now for Chelsea. It's nice to see Sarri giving one or two of the English players a chance, although they haven't. You put Ruben Loftus-Cheek 92-93. They actually finished 10th that year and won 2 trophies. They won the League Cup and they won the FA Cup in a replay against Sheffield Wednesday, but they They were really struggling 92-93. In fact, the next season, I think they lost their first match at Highbury 3-0 to Coventry, who just avoided relegation that season, as they did every other season for the last 10 years before they did get their comeuppance in 2001. And here's a chance now for Kante inside the area. The flag has stayed down. Kante now pulled back across, and Barkley shoots and just narrowly over from just sort of about 20 yards, just to the left of centre. Hit it well with his left foot, and it just tipped over the crossbar, but it wasn't a lot to spare. Petr Cech was worried. Louis playing the ball forward. Kante just about broke the offside trap here. To the left of the penalty spot, hooked it back, and on the left foot Barkley hit it, but just didn't have the conviction or just a dip to test the goalkeeper Cech, and it remains 1-0 with 12.5 minutes over now played. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. Tomorrow it's Burnley Watford from Turf War, the Clarets match live. Well, I'm very sorry that we weren't to be able to bring you any European action. We had Chris out, of course, as Willian now darts down the left hand side, and there's the cross knocked away there by Socrates, and now Mkhitaryan to bring it away, but he's lost it again, and now Barkley on the scene. Arsenal look all over the place at the moment, and I do apologise about not bringing the Super Cup. We missed out on a real thriller there for you. And then obviously the Burnley match sadly was not being televised. Unfortunately, we could not bring you the commentary of the second leg, which we did win 1-0 after extra time on Thursday night. As Chelsea now have possession on the right hand side. N'Golo Kante, former Leicester man, comes forward once again. Twice a Premier League winner, now a World Cup winner, of course. Won the FA Cup last season with France, with Chelsea, sorry, and then won the World Cup a few weeks later with France. And a good ball round the corner, and again Chelsea getting in behind that Arsenal defence with great problems. How late am I? Well, you've missed a goal. We've had 14 minutes. You're 14 minutes late, and you've missed a goal scored by Pedro after 9 minutes. So, if you have tuned in late, you've missed commentary of the first goal scored by Pedro. An easy goal, really, from Chelsea's point of view. Bad defending from Arsenal's point of view. If you see it on Match of the Day later, you'll get the gist of what I'm saying. Arsenal did look very threatening in the early stages, but since then Ozil missed a great chance a few minutes before, and that paved the way to Arsenal for Chelsea to break, and the ball back with Kepa, and Kepa kicks away under pressure though from Ozil and gets it away. 1-0 with the win the next header, and it's still 1-0. The stream I'm watching is behind your audio. Well, it's nice to know I set the pace in some aspects. 15 minutes gone, incidentally, at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. Well, remember, just to remind you, hashtag JB Live if you want to make comments about the game. Like Padini's doing, Woodpecker the Third. I would start hashtagging it as well, please. We want to try and utilise this a lot better now. And here's Alonso Williams pass. Alonso down the left hand side. The cross was far too strong, and the ball out of play for throwing to Arsenal almost over with the edge of their own 6-yard area. But once again, Chelsea utilising the flanks to dramatic effect and really causing one or two troubles to the Arsenal backline here. And Arsenal, since the goal, have really gone into their shell. What hashtag? Yeah, good. Yeah, I should have said, shouldn't I? Hashtag JB Live. Hashtag JB Live. Okay. And I'm watching the game in England on America on ABC Live from England. Well, you don't have to tell us which channel you're watching it on, whether it's on BT Sports or NBC. If you're a boxing fan as well, don't forget to watch the Frampton fight. That should be good. And then obviously Tyson Fury a bit later on. That should be terrific. Entertainment. Aubameyang shoots and hits it straight at the goalkeeper. Aubameyang hit it towards the right of the edge, right to the penalty spot. Arsenal there breaking forward. It was one ball forward, and Aubameyang there looking to test the goalkeeper Kepa, who didn't really hold it well and was looking to get the ball at the second time of asking. And Arsenal have reacted a little bit better. 17 minutes gone. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. The goal coming after 9 minutes from Pedro, the former Barcelona striker. And here is Mustafi to get the ball forward. Then Bellerin on there again. Arsenal now starting to play their fluent passing. But Emery really wants to get that defence sorted out, because they haven't kept a clean sheet in his first 2 games. That will be a concern. Iwobi keeps the ball in, and Iwobi goes down. It is a throw into Arsenal, and as we see again on the far side, Iwobi does well. Good skills there. The ball does go out, and it hits his particulars, or shall I say nether regions. Arsenal get a throw on the far side, level with the edge of the Chelsea penalty area, and they've wasted that really, and Chelsea belted up towards halfway, and a chance here now for Arsenal to come forward again with Mustafi, the German international. David Luiz just heads it out safety first. Pekka the third says #JB live 3-2 to Chelsea. He's predicting. I've gone 3-2 the other way. I wish I hadn't now. Chelsea 72%, 28% possession Arsenal. So Arsenal being out possession, you don't usually see that from Arsenal. Chelsea really playing with a high intensity here. Now then, the chance here for the number 29, Guendouzi, the Afro haired man, and it's got in behind. It's Bellerin now for Arsenal. Bellerin pulls to the crutch, it's champion equaliser, and it's not from Aubameyang. How has he missed that from about 10 yards out? It looked as if Bellerin had cut in from the right. He got to the right and corner of the D, and then across the face of the goal, and there may have been a suspicion of offside. Pulls the ball back towards the penalty spot, and Aubameyang from no more than 11 yards out, goal gaping, somehow side foots it with his right foot over the crossbar. They had chances like that against Manchester City last week and just didn't take them. Real let off there with 19 and a half minutes almost gone here at Stamford Bridge. Unbelievable miss. That will be going into the old goals and bloopers videos next this Christmas coming. As Chelsea now going forward in search of a second one. Inside the area. Chance here for the second, and it's another one. 2-0. It's Morata. And Chelsea broke at the other end. Morata was on his own 1v1. He twisted his player inside and out inside the Arsenal box, and then got his shot in. Left footed low down check going the wrong way, and into the net it went. And Arsenal, who should have been level, have now been made to pay. And Aubameyang will now have to brunt the frustration. 2-0, and no doubt at all he was onside. He was in his own half when the ball was played. Morata one-on-one with the defender, beat him very much easily, and then got his shot off with his right foot. And as you can see there, it was him against Mustafi, and Mustafi was just too slow for him in the end. Morata onto his left foot, bang, goalkeeper the wrong way, in the net it goes. 2-0 to Chelsea. It should have been 1-1 at the over end really. Instead it's 2-0, and Arsenal really are looking down the barrel here at Stamford Bridge with just coming up towards 21 minutes of the first half gone. It's Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0. Pedro after 9 minutes with the first, Morata after 20 with the second. And really, if Arsenal had took their chances there at 1-0 down and at 0-0, it could have been a completely different ball game. Free kick to Arsenal, 15 yards inside the Chelsea half, and Aubameyang will be kicking himself for that missed chance. They do have Lacazette on the bench, however. Now then, a chance here for Guendouzi. Gets it out to the far side. Monreal, who showed some promise in the opening exchanges. Now the ball comes out to Xhaka. Xhaka out to Monreal, far side. 3 Arsenal players in the centre. The ball hooked in, and Rudiger just hooks it out. And, well, I will get to Absolutely Anonymous's message in a second. We have a break in play. So, let's have a look at what he's had to say. Good evening to you. JB Live, hashtag fair play. Morata coming for a lot of criticism lately. Well, that should silence a few of the critics. It was a real composed finish by Morata, it has to be said, and the Chelsea fans now taunting their Arsenal counterparts, but Arsenal have a free kick on the far side. Monreal to take. There's a line of about 3, maybe 4 Arsenal players in amongst the Chelsea line. 22 minutes gone, coming up towards 22 and a half minutes. The free kick from Monreal into the penalty area. Bellerin is in there just to the right of the 6-yard box, but he can't control it, and Chelsea hook it out. And now Guendouzi now will take possession here, wearing 29. Here goes Bellerin. Bellerin runs into traffic, and now here's Willian down the left-hand side for Chelsea. 2 goals clear. Goals from Pedro after 9 minutes, and Morata with his first of the season after 20. Kante keeps possession. Good football this from Chelsea. Barkley now plays it out the back towards Kante now, just to the right. Now Chelsea just keeping possession. Sign of a good team, that in complete control. 2 goals clear, but it is still a dangerous lead if you want to look at it that way. Although Arsenal fans will be furious, and I've got to tell you that Arsenal Fan TV will be in meltdown, and it will make decent Saturday night viewing at the moment. Unless, I mean, Chelsea run riot, it's going to be a real long evening. And I thought Arsenal were going to do better than what I thought they were going to do, but they're in danger now of losing their first 2 games in 20 odd years, offside against number 7 Mkhitaryan. Linesman on the near side flagging. Just to remind you of the earlier scores today. Cardiff 0, Newcastle 0. Kennedy were missing a penalty. In the end, Newcastle were down to 10 men in that match. So that ended 0-0. Spurs beat Fulham 3-1. Everton were a little bit too good for Southampton, 2-1 winners. Bournemouth winning 2-0 as well, 2-1 at West Ham. Leicester just about too good for Wolves, although Wolves will feel a little bit unfortunate. Jamie Vardy was sent off in that one as well. They're just some of the scores that we have for you this afternoon. And of course, here it's Arsenal 2-0 down here after 24 and 3/4 minutes against a real Chelsea side that are really having the confidence and the skill to keep possession. But Arsenal have missed 2 key chances. Ozil at 0-0 just before Chelsea scored their first, and then a minute 30 seconds before Morata doubled Chelsea's money, Aubameyang with an open goal from 12 yards out via the penalty spot, hit it with his right foot, side-footed it with his right foot, and it was easier to miss. It was easier to score than to miss, and he hit it way over the top into the Matthew Harding end, where Arsenal attacking that to our right as we look. But at the moment, Chelsea in complete control. Willian takes it in over the halfway line. A little touch was heavy, but then ran into traffic, looked for a free kick, wasn't going to get it. Now Guendouzi brings it away for Arsenal, up to halfway, but then Kante wins the ball back. And now the ball just been played around in the centre circle at the moment. Kicked around in the centre circle. Good first half here at Stamford Bridge. Very much enjoyed it at the moment. And Chelsea, good value for their 2-goal lead. 1 ball up towards Morata. Can't get on the end of that. And Arsenal now to try and get themselves hopefully back into this match. They have really looked all over the place defensively on the 2 goals. Mustafi was easily bullied off on the second one, and that's always a bit of a worry, I suppose. But Arsenal here now on the brink, a 3rd one, and I think the game might be won for Chelsea even at this early stage. Yellow card given, a foul there 15 yards inside the Arsenal half, and it's a Chelsea 3 kick. Pedro tripped there by the number 34, Granit Xhaka, who's got a bit of a bad boy reputation. Known for he's a hard tackling player, Granit Xhaka, of course. Swiss international. In fact, it's his 2nd booking. He picked up one at home to Manchester City last week. A bit of frustration in that Arsenal team. Another foul there, and if it's the same man, and I'm not sure it is actually, it's Mustafi incidentally. Morata is holding his right shin there, I'm just seeing. 27 minutes now played, 2-0 still to Arsenal. 2-0, sorry, to Chelsea. I do apologise. And it's a free kick to the team that are 2 up, and that's Chelsea. And it's just over halfway inside the Arsenal half, and it's about 35 from goal. David Luiz wants a piece of it. He'd love to get one here this afternoon. But he's going to leave it to Willian. Looks like it's going to be the floater with the right foot. 35 yards out, just to the left of the D. And it's going to float it in towards the far post. And again, real static Arsenal defence. And they're just about getting away. Arobi just struggling to clear his lines there. Under pressure there by Morata. It's always a trouble. It's always trouble that for Arsenal at the moment. Defensively, they don't look too sound. So 2-0 it is. And Chelsea good value. They have a throw-in level more so with the edge of the Arsenal penalty area on the right hand side, the far side, as we look here at Stamford Bridge. Right, Arsenal could make club history today for all the wrong reasons, Benini's telling me, and another statsman we have for this channel, and we have a fantastic thing. Arsenal could make history today. The first time they've not scored in their first 2 games ever. As I said, the TV guys are promoting the big fight tonight. That's Carl-Frampton. That's taking place at Windsor Park in Belfast. So if you have BT Sport and you'd like to watch the fight, you can do. That should be an absolute cracker. Tomorrow we've got a second live. We've got a second commentary game. We've got Burnley against Watford in the Premier League. Watford fresh from a convincing 2-0 win over Brighton in the first match a week ago at Vicarage Road, with Pereira scoring both goals that afternoon. Burnley, of course, should have beaten Southampton a week ago, you may remember. So Burnley had a narrow win against Istanbul the other night. Lancashire. I now have to play Olympiacos on Thursday night, and if that's being televised, you'll hear it live on JB Clark YouTube channel. That has gone out to play from Hector Bellerin, one of the quickest right backs around. Well, not the most skillful. Unai Emery, absolutely, well, he's been made to look like Dick Emery really this afternoon. If you're wondering, and if younger listeners are wondering who Dick Emery is, ask your dad or your granddad. They'll tell you who Dick Emery is. He was actually a comedian that dressed up in drag, a bit like Dame Edna. Anyway, the ball back with Peter Cech now. Let's come off the subject of comedians and back onto the subject we were talking about, football. And it's half an hour played, 2-0, and Arsenal having to again play across the back. Mustafi going forward, running into Willian, and Mustafi just about getting away with that and gets a 3 kick given in his favour. Willian is frustrated by the decision. One thing Chelsea can't afford to do at 2-0 up and coasting is be complacent and start losing any discipline. At the moment, Sarri has got it right tactically. Arsenal have been absolutely caught asleep at the back, and at the moment they don't look a team in sorts. This is Aubameyang now towards the edge of the area. Mkhitaryan, edge of the area. Mkhitaryan shoots. Might break here, and they claim handball. It was a shot there by the number 10, Mesut Ozil. Still might come here through Iwobi. Iwobi back across, a chance here for Mkhitaryan. Oh, he's hit it over from 7 yards out. Right foot and over the top and behind for a goal kick. And Arsenal here have had 3 massive chances in this game and have failed to take any of them, and they've been quite good chances as well. One for Ozil, one for Aubameyang at 1-0, that could have made it level, and then just then Mkhitaryan 7 yards out, the ball, the goal again yawning, the goalkeeper kept struggling. Possible appeals for a handball. Azpilicueta had his arms down, in fairness, so I think it would have been harsh to give the penalty. But well, it is very, very difficult to defend Arsenal there, because they've had the chances and they're 2-0 down because of themselves. They're not because of the referee or the way Chelsea have performed. It's the way they performed in the first 32 minutes that will concern the manager more than anything else that Chelsea have done throughout that first half. And they've only themselves to blame, frankly, now, Arsenal. And it's just been poor finishing, and they had chances against Manchester City, you may remember, a week ago to do just that. And here comes Alonso. Can Chelsea punish them a third time here on the break? Not this time. Alonso and Willian were just not on the save, waiting for him from the Chelsea left hand side. They do get a throw in, however, as we come up to 32 and 3/4 minutes of the first half gone. We're into the last 15 minutes now of the first half. I think Arsenal will be can't wait for the half-time cup of tea to come soon enough, or they may well feel like having something a bit stronger than a cup of tea and a couple of oranges at half-time, the way that first half has gone. And they've had chances and they've been in with an opportunity. They just haven't tested the goalkeeper enough. They've prodded chances wide, they've prodded efforts over from 5, 6, 7, 8 yards out, and yet Chelsea have taken their chances when it's been on offer. And Luis trying to dart forward. Morata is off. He's onside. The ball does break though to Willian on the left hand side. Ball back across. Kante was in there. Might drop to Barkley. Might even drop there for Mkhitaryan to get the ball forward. Arsenal all over the place. But here's Bellerin looking towards Mkhitaryan. We won't find the former Borussia Dortmund and Manchester United man. Then the ball rushes back to Kepa, and Kepa does well. Good football this from Chelsea. Alonso down the line but out of play. Arsenal get a throw 10 yards inside the Chelsea half. They have to throw it back to their own half, and it's 2-0. Remember, Arsenal have had 3 massive chances in the game and have failed to take any of them. Ozil with the one he prodded wide from about 10 yards. The second one, Aubameyang by the penalty spot, easier to score, no one in the goals, and he hit it over the top. And then just a few moments ago, Mkhitaryan 6 yards out. Again the goal practically yawning. I couldn't take the opportunity, and Arsenal have been punished on at least two of the 3 occasions by very, very good play from Pedro and Morata. Pedro's goal after 9 minutes, Morata's after 20. We're coming up towards the final 10 minutes of what's been a high octane first half, with a good match for the neutral to watch. Now Pedro has gone to the left hand side, feeds Alonso, back in field to Willian, now Kante, Barkley keeping the possession, Kante and Willian, and now the ball on halfway. Dab with Luis now just taking his time playing and Arsenal now having to watch while Chelsea outpossess them. Never used to be like this with Arsenal, under Wenger that is, but there will be a lot of Arsenal fans, and Arsenal fan TV at the moment will be in meltdown, I tell you. Meltdown. 2-0 they trail. And Arsenal fan TV will be very worth a watch tonight, so tune in around about 7, 8 o'clock. Match stats: passes 231 passes Chelsea to 129. Final third passes 34 for Chelsea, 24 for Arsenal. So Chelsea outstatting Arsenal and outpointing them in every department. And if this was a boxing match, it would be stopped by now. Here's Pedro now, edge of the area, deflection, and it almost made it awkward for Cech. Low down as well, but Cech got there. Nice soft hands, carried it in, no problem this time. Throw into Arsenal. 15 yards from halfway and still inside their own ball, own half of the field, over on the right hand side, the near side as we look. 9 minutes of the first half remaining. 2-0 to Chelsea. Goals after 9 minutes from Pedro, and then the second one from Morata. After Arsenal have missed 2 gilt-edged chances, they've missed a third since then. And it has been a real lesson in finishing here. They do have Lacazette on the bench, but here goes Iwobi into the penalty area. Iwobi's shot comes to Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan shoots, it's gone in, and Arsenal are on the board and they're back in the game. Mkhitaryan with a 25-yard daisy cutter from the edge of the area with his left foot and into the net. Keeper or Kepa couldn't keep it out. And all of a sudden, the game is back on. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 1, and Chelsea have made it possible by giving the ball away. And Mkhitaryan with his left foot, first time, right in the corner here. Just to the left of the D as he strikes it. Kepa gets a good hand on this, but he can't keep it out, and he concedes his first goal in English football, having kept a clean sheet a week ago at Huddersfield. And all of a sudden, it's game on. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 1, and Mkhitaryan will feel a little bit better about himself, having missed an earlier opportunity. He's taken a much harder chance, and Arsenal are back in business. It's 2-1. Real game changer here with 37.5 minutes gone, and here go Chelsea again. And inside the penalty area, Kante now pulled back. Chance here, and a shot, a good save from Morata, who hit it from 20 yards right to the D. And Petr Cech was superb here. Kante holding it up well, and Cech with a marvellous one-handed save here. That was going in, and that's a big left hand turning it over the crossbar. And Chelsea nearly restoring their 2-goal margin. What a first half it has been. Quite a fruity game, this. Corner kick to be taken by Willian. 38 minutes gone of a riveting encounter here at Stamford Bridge. Willian with the corner, right-footed into the penalty area from the left-hand side and headed away by Arsenal. Better defending this time by the Gunners, who are back in it. Pedro and Morata with the 2 goals, putting Chelsea in command after 20 minutes, but just a minute or two ago, Mkhitaryan from 20 yards, after Chelsea giving the ball away cheaply in the middle of the park, has given themselves a lifeline here in this first half. And plenty of time to get back in it, and that was their 4th big opportunity. They took it at the 4th time of asking. It's just a shame it's had to come at 2-0 down from their point of view. But that will brighten up Unai Emery's day a little bit, because they have got on the score sheet. And they do have creative tone as that long ball is forward. And now a chance for Morata. Morata strikes it on the volley. The flag had actually gone up for offside anyway against Pedro from the first ball. And nothing doing it though. Ooh, I don't know. Pedro, well, it's touch and go whether he's offside or not, or onside. If you're watching it on television and you've seen a replay, let me know what you thought of it. I couldn't tell. It was quite a borderline decision. Just to remind you, the 2 benches, Chelsea have got Eden Hazard, subject to speculation of a move away. Caballero, the goalkeeper, Moses, Kovacic, Giroud, Zabakos and Christensen. For Arsenal, as the ball will be ushered back to Petr Cech, no problem at all. And he's showing he'll be moving the ball away. No, he goes short to Mustafi. Mustafi back to Cech. Surely Petr Cech has got to start putting his foot through the ball and getting it away. This play off on the back policy is quite a dangerous game, and Cech played it almost too dangerously last week against Manchester City. Almost cost him a goal. It was his own negligence as well. And also bring it away. It's on the bench for Arsenal, Leno, the goalkeeper, El Neni, Aaron Ramsey, Lacazette, Torreira, Lichtensteiner and Danny Welbeck. So plenty of attacking tone, although I wouldn't rate Danny Welbeck too highly on 1 or 2 lists. But it's Arsenal coming again, looking to try and force an equalising goal here. This is number 29, Buendazuri finds Hector Bellerin, turns away from the defender as if he didn't exist. And a chance here for Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan's cross. It's 2-2! Well taken inside the 6-yard box, and it's Aubameyang! Oh my goodness me! And no, it's not. It's Iwobi. Iwobi has made it 2 each. What a first half this has been! Arsenal were 2-0. They were dead and buried, so we all thought. And they've come back from the dead. And Alex Iwobi, after great work from Mkhitaryan, wonderful little cross. Poor Chelsea defending, and Arsenal are back on terms with 4 minutes to go to half time, and there's still time for anything. It's still happening before half time. A good finish from Iwobi. Kepa no chance at all, and this game is turning into a real classic. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2, and well, what about that? And I thought Mkhitaryan was onside as the ball was played. He did look on. And now Sarri, whose team were 2-0 up and coasting, have relaxed far too much, and Arsenal have had 2 chances and have scored twice. It will be rather than Aubameyang with the goal there. I was just so excited that it was 2-2. I misread the score, and now Xhaka now, who's on a yellow card, and he plays it in towards Guendouzi, who started the move, actually led to the equaliser. Guendouzi shoots and almost squeezed in at the goalkeeper's near post again. I tell you what, it's not great from the defensive point of view. You're trying to pick holes in the defence, but from entertainment, wow! I think we were very right there. Well, 2-2. Panini inquires, #JBLive. Chelsea where was the marking? Tackling very poor. Well, it was a wonderful ball. I suppose it was undefensible, but what a rip-roaring first half this has been. You can't get any better than this. And here comes Arsenal again, looking for another one and almost getting it again. But this time, Kepa with a catch. So 2-2. From 2-0 down, Arsenal have fought their way back into a contest which they looked dead and buried and very much out of. All of a sudden, they're right back in it at 2-2. It's been a really good first half. And for a neutral, this has been a dream. Here's Mesut Ozil now. Here's a one-liner twist before the half-time interval. And the ball is out of play. Well, I think Arsenal could reach the top 4. I've backed them to finish third in my predictions. If you haven't seen it on YouTube, take a look. Done a week ago. Now then, Iwobi can keep that ball in play on the far side. Iwobi now, and question the goal, is it? No, just wide. Aubameyang inside the 6-yard box. I just thought for a moment he just crept in the near post, but he hadn't. And Arsenal so close inside the last 90 seconds of taking the lead. And Aubameyang there just needed a little bit better contact. Just scuffs it, which just takes it narrowly wide of the near post. The left-hand post. Oh my goodness me, what a 44 minutes we've had here. Wow. Well, the Saturday game, the 2 Saturday games we had last week were crackers. We had 3 goals at Newcastle and another 4 at Wolves, and we've had another 4 here this afternoon in the late game, the Saturday game live. Well, we're certainly getting our money's worth now. That's a whopping 11 goals in our 3 Saturday games so far this season. Plenty of goals going in these games, and the scoring may not be over yet. We're inside the last minute of normal time. Header only half out by David Luiz from the crossing from the left-hand side. What a first half this has been. We're inside the last 10 seconds of normal time here. Goodness knows how much stoppage time we're going to have at the end of this game as Xhaka plays the ball out towards the far side. Taken on the chest of Monreal. Monreal over on the far side. We've got 2 added minutes, so still another 2 minutes of this riveting first half, which was dominated by Chelsea. Then Arsenal, in the last 15 minutes, have pulled their fingers out big time and have gotten themselves back at 2-2, and now looking to go in the lead. And Mkhitaryan is onside, pulled back across, another missed opportunity by the penalty spot. And this time Iwobi, I don't think he got underneath it. I don't think he got good contact on it, to be, in all fairness to him, to defend him there. But really, Arsenal here going for the kill here. They're going for the cutthroat at the end. And again, Chelsea not learning their lesson from the previous time. Mkhitaryan stayed onside. They played him onside, and the ball may have been a little bit strong there to pull back. But even so, Arsenal with a golden opportunity to have scored a third, and they've had more chances to score 4 or maybe 5 goals in this first half. If you count the 3 gilt-edged chances they had at 0-0, 1-0 down, and 2-0 and then at 2-0 down. Chelsea have switched off since the second goal, there's no doubt about that. And this game really is on a knife edge, and it just shows the famous fighting spirit of this Arsenal side. Maybe this new Emre Dawn is not a false one after all. I know we're still another 45 minutes still to go at Stamford Bridge, but the second half has got something to live up to now, because it's going to go to match the drama and the excitement of a really good first half here between Chelsea and Arsenal. 2 traditional London sides really battling it out between each other, and it's been a joy to watch. 10 seconds of the two added to play, and I'll be glad of my voice getting a rest and I can all go and have a cup of coffee. Because the way this game has gone so far, you cannot take your eyes off it for 1 second. All eyes on the referee Atkinson, who blows for half time. We played the 2 minutes. Wow! 20 minutes. All Chelsea, first 20 minutes. Goals from Pedro after 9 minutes. And Morata after 20 put Chelsea in front. 2-0 in the lead. Arsenal did have gilt-edged chances, and then in the 37th minute, back came Arsenal with an equalising goal, with a goal from Mkhitaryan after 47 minutes, and then a Welby 4 minutes from the break, making it 2-2. And Welby could have easily had another one before the break. What a first half here. I think we've got to take 10 minutes to chill out here, because that first half was tremendous. So I'm going to take a 10-minute break. What I would suggest you do is go to the fridge and get a coffee or a beer or something cold or whatever, and rejoin us in the next 10 minutes, because we're going to take a 10-minute break here at Stamford Bridge. Marvellous game of football. See you in 10 minutes with the half-time score. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Welcome back to Stamford Bridge. Welcome back. I can't believe it. It's been a remarkable first half, and if you've enjoyed it right from the start, you've been in very well treated. If you haven't, if you've joined us very, very late, where have you been this first half? It's been an absolute amazement. Amazing first half. 2-2 at the moment. We've had a whopping 20 shots on goal in that first half. Goodness knows what we're going to have do in the second half. It's going to live up to some now, that is for sure. So 2-2. The goals, Pedro with the first after 9 minutes, Mamrata doubling the lead after 20, after 19 minutes, and then Mkhitaryan pulling one back after 36 minutes, and then Iwobi after 41 equalising here. The teams are now back out for the second half, and we're all set to get underway. So it's me, JB John Stuttard, in again for the second week running, replacing Chris Whiteman, who was originally down to commentate on the match, but unfortunately he's got other matters to deal with, which is quite understandable, and we are back. So you've got me instead for the foreseeable future until Chris is well enough to rejoin us. And there's a hard time substitution, and it's going to be Torreira to come on for Arsenal, one of their newer faces, and he's replacing Granit Xhaka. So Torreira is on. And he wears number 11. And off we go in the second half. No changes from Chelsea's lineup as the second half gets underway. Chelsea now attacking the goal to our right, the Matthew Harding stand. And it's 2-2. Chelsea also attacking the end where their supporters are. That's the shed. And the cross comes in towards the Arsenal penalty area, and it's cleared from the left-hand side. Arsenal have a throw midway inside their own half. Be interested to see what the substitution does. This is Iwobi now back on again. Iwobi now plodding out towards the left hand side. So just to remind you of the two teams in just a second, the 2-1, we get a break in play. But this is number 30, Guendouzi. Guendouzi plays it out to the far side, and this really is unbelievable. And Panini once again singing my praises. JB Live is back on the mic for the second half. Get them get them right to the league and sub for more live commentary from the one, the only JB Clark 1983. Well, that's some praise indeed. Meanwhile, whilst I was looking at that message, Arsenal won a free kick, foul on Nacho Monreal. So 2-2 it remains, and we've played just over 1 minute 20 of the second half. Just to remind you, earlier today, Cardiff 0, Newcastle 0. Kennedy of Newcastle missed a penalty. Everton 2, Southampton 1. Richarlison again on the score sheet. Danny Ings getting off the mark for Southampton. Leicester 2, Wolves 0. Jamie Vardy was sent off in that match. Tottenham 3, Fulham 1. Here's a chance there across the face and wide of the goal. Tottenham 3, Fulham 1. Harry Kane getting rid of that no goals in August tag by scoring in August at Wembley, because obviously their new ground is back obviously in the still in the stages of redevelopment. And at the London Stadium, a big win for Bournemouth, winning by 2-1 against a new look West Ham team. And again, problems for West Ham in that Olympic Stadium for them. And here it's 2-2 in a real classic. David Luiz cuts out the long ball midway inside his own half. Now, we couldn't have wished for a better Saturday Match Live. A real humdinger of a first half we had, and now the second has got to live up to its expectations and billing. But one thing we can't complain of is being disappointed, because this game has certainly been far from disappointing. As Barkley lays the ball in, Barkley might get it a second time. Got a little bit of a lucky ricochet. Still might come here for Chelsea, and the shot over the top with his right foot by Pedro from 23 yards, the right of the D, goes sailing over the crossbar into the Matthew Harding stand, named after the former Chelsea chairman, who was tragically killed in a helicopter crash back in 1996. Eden Hazard, I'm just watching there, warming up, in the subject of speculation about his future. Does he want to stay at Chelsea? He wants to move away. Obviously they've lost Thibaut Courtois to Real Madrid, of course, which was a real blow, but Kepa has not looked in good nick at all. His handling looks a little bit suspect. I know he's new to the league, and it took David De Gea a good 2 or 3 years to establish himself as one of the Premier League's best keepers. Oh, and Kepa almost committing a real caper then. Almost putting his teammates in trouble, and in fact a foul on the far side on David Luiz by Aubameyang, and a free kick to Chelsea. Wow. It certainly hasn't lacked in drama. Both teams have made it difficult for themselves in each other's respect, because they're both trying to play intricate passes out from the back. And here the ball back to Cech. Good first to control this time. Puts his left foot through the ball. Gets it towards halfway. That's surely going to be an Arsenal ball. No foul there. So referee allowing it to go on. No foul on Alex Iwobi. So 2-2 it remains here at Stamford Bridge. Here's the long ball forward from Guendouzi, looking towards Aubameyang this time, but Kante gets the ball back. Kante gets it a second time, and here's Hazard. Pedro gets the ball back. I think I'm prophesying far too early. Eden Hazard being on the pitch. Here's Kepa. Kepa gets the ball away, 3/4 of the way up the field, headed back once again. That should be Mustafi's, and then Cech says, I'm having that, I'm putting my left foot through that, and he does that tremendously well. Now the ball over the top. Good football this, and here's Mkhitaryan, who's starting a lot of the good things that Arsenal have shown, and been at the hub of good things that Arsenal has shown. Still has possession, the ball back as well, but once again the ball out to the far side. Bellerin now to tease a little crossing there towards Aubameyang as well, and they appeal for handball. Chelsea not going to get the decision. Arsenal keeping possession now on the left hand side. They're keeping possession really well here. 2-2. Here's Guendouzi again, and again the patience of Arsenal proving fruitful once again. And then they lose out possession to Ross Barkley, and then away goes Willian down the left hand side. Willian trying to look for Morata. Morata was taken out 10 yards inside his own half. A free kick to Chelsea on the left hand side. Just a little bit of inexperience showing there by Mustafi. Remember, Torreira's on for Arsenal. First change came after half time. Chelsea yet to make a substitution yet. We've been playing 5 minutes of the second half. 6 minutes now of the second half. It's 2-2 still. All the goals coming in the first half. Here's Morata now, giving away now. He's up against one. It was one of him against 4 Arsenal defenders, and in the end, the law of averages was saying that Arsenal were going to win that little battle because they had 4 defenders as to him up front, and in the end, he was never likely to break past the 4 strong Arsenal defence. And then Arsenal give away possession rather carelessly. There might have been a few appeals for a free kick. Kante has the shot well blocked, and then Kante goes in again, and then the ball somehow squirms away from the Arsenal penalty area. Nacho Monreal can hook it away. Sarri wants a penalty, I think. Well, Martin Atkinson of Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, isn't going to give decisions lightly, I don't think, in this game. Sarri wanted a penalty. Henry now with hand signals as if he's directing traffic on a busy rush hour afternoon in the middle of London. And here's again a lovely ball, and that's a good ball there by Guendouzi, but the flag has gone up for offside, and Arsenal have been stopped in their tracks by the linesman's flag. This is Kante's shot. Well, it's a good block actually by Skorakis. I'm not sure you could give a penalty. I think it would have been a little bit on the unfortunate side if he had given it the referee. I think it would only been half a harsh to give it there against the Greek, but nevertheless, it's still 2-2. Coming up towards 8 minutes of the second half played. Into 53 minutes. 2-2 it remains. Morata and Pedro for Chelsea. and Mkhitaryan and Welby for Arsenal. Aspilicueta now on the right hand side for Chelsea, plays it infield towards Kante. Kante turns, pirouettes away from two Arsenal defenders and runs into a little bit of space, although he has to go backwards rather than forwards. Finds Rungian now on halfway. Now they're playing out to the left, and this is Marcos Alonso. Alonso out to the far side. Willian is lurking. Plays a 1-2 with tries to play it infield to Barkley rather. Now Willian has another go. Alonso tees it up, tries to play 1-2 with Willian. Ball is too badly overhit by Marcos Alonso and into touch for a goal kick. Mrs. Sari and Zola, his right hand man now. Zola knows Chelsea Football Club better than anyone on the coaching staff. He was a player there for about 6 years. Won a lot of major honours, won the League Cup a couple of times, won the FA Cup a couple of times, and the Cup Winners' Cup in his time at Stamford Bridge. Came from Parma, just literally going up, back up through the leagues now, back into Serie A for this season coming, and it's nice to see Parma back in there. They were a terrific club, and then financial problems catapulted them down through the divisions. They were locked out of the ground and went bankrupt, and now they've reformed and they've come up through the Italian leagues, and it's good to see them almost back. And here's Morata inside the penalty area for Chelsea, and the cross needed to be good, and in the end a good block there by Mustafi and smuggled out for a corner. It could have been far more promising there for Chelsea. Timed his run to a tee again. Morata looked a bit sharper. Morata did score, and I think on his home debut last year against Burnley. Remember, this time a year ago, Burnley were winning 3-2. Chelsea, I remember, were down to 9 men in that match. Here's Willian with the corner into the 6-yard box. Looks like it come out for the first, gone out of play for the first second or two, but it didn't. Curled still into play, and Chelsea now looking for this third goal. They led 2-0, pegged back to 2-2. Arsenal had chances. The pace of the game in the first 10 minutes is just slackened off slightly. There hasn't been any great chances so far in the second half thus far. This is Pedro, good back heel into Barkley's path. Barkley looking for Aspilicueta, who decides to leave it. I have to say, it's been a first half really that, a second half really that's lived in a match that really has lived in the memory here, and I can't recall a match really that's had a real importance than what we've seen here today. And we're having one or two technical issues, I'm sorry to say, once again. We'd had a terrific feed as well, and but it remains 2-2. Oh, I think we're going to get the action back. We are. And now it's Barkley now into the area. Barkley has the shot and across the face, and I think Pedicek got his hand on that, turning away for a corner. This was the opportunity once again for Barkley. Struck it well. Goalkeeper having to get down there, palming out for a corner. First real genuine chance of the second half, and it fell to Chelsea. And Cech, who was at fault, last week, not at fault this week. Offside. In fact, the ball had gone out of play anyway, as Jorginho attempted to chip the ball into the penalty area. Well, I wouldn't like to be a betting man if I was in neutral. Chelsea were home and hosed, you felt, at 2-0, but there's an old saying in football that 2 goals to 0 up is a very, very dangerous lead, and it has proved the case in point once again. I know nothing will compare to what Steve McLaren is obviously feeling right now. His QPR team were humiliated 7-1 earlier today at West Bromwich Albion, and he's under a lot of pressure. Frank Lampard going down to defeat at Millwall. Meanwhile, here in the game, it's Aubameyang. He's tucked it in, but the flag is offside. Flag is offside against Aubameyang. Well, this will be interesting. Yes, just off. Good decision, linesman. Really was a good decision. Great finish, though, from Aubameyang. It remains 2-2. 58 minutes almost gone in this second half here at Stamford Bridge. The Saturday game live. And this is what a game it is to bring you. Here's Pedro, near side. Pedro now for Chelsea. 2-2 it remains. Chelsea, and in the end, Pedro's cross was a poor one. Straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Well, the changes are afoot for Chelsea potentially. There's Hazard, he can make a difference. You've got Giroud, who's wanting to prove his old team live. JB Live, my new desktop is Windows 10. Cost me £600. The PC is Windows. I'm not going to say that bit, but he's had it since 2006. Don't be broadcasting any illegal activities with me. But what I can tell you is it remains 2-2 in an absolute thriller minute, and I cannot believe what we're seeing. What we're seeing here at the moment. Here's Kante now forward. And the ball is threaded back, and it's back once again. So 2-2 is the score, and a very highly enjoyable game of football, one has to say. It's been a jolly old game here today. But at the moment it looks like being a point apiece unless one of these two teams can find a decisive goal in the next half an hour or so. It's been a remarkable game. Iwobi winning the ball back on halfway and winning it legally according to the referee, and then plays a careless ball which was nowhere in no man's land. And here come Chelsea about to make a substitution, and it's going to be number 17 Kovacic. Kovacic is now going to come on. He's going to replace Ross Barkley, I think. So he's coming on, and Hazard is also going to come on as well. So it's a double substitution for Kovacic. He's on, and this is after 60 minutes. Both subs, William off, and Eden Hazard. Of course, there's number 10. He's also on as well after 60 minutes as well. So Arsenal played one of their jokers at the half-time interval. Chelsea are doing likewise now in this second half. And we've lost connection with the game, but we will endeavour to get the game back for you as soon as we can. It is very frustrating when you want to try and get a live game going at the moment, but we are now into the 60th minute of the game. A game really that has been really lively from the word go this afternoon. It's been a very enjoyable match to watch, and a game really that could now to and fro either way really in the next half an hour. And as they used to say on Stingray, anything can happen in the next half hour. Well, anything could still happen in the next half hour, that is for certain, and I think we will see a frantic finish to this game. There's no doubt about that. You're listening to the JB Corrett YouTube channel here on a Saturday night, the Saturday game live, and it comes from Stamford Bridge, where it's 2-2. We've had 60 minutes just over. The substitutions are now on. It's Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2 at Stamford Bridge. We're back live with you now. Here's Louise, midway inside his own half. Louise gets the ball forward with a touch on there by Pedro. Azpilicueta wants the ball played by Kante to him. Azpilicueta now gets the cross in. It's a low one and a dangerous one. Azpilicueta has a second chance, and then the ball back in. Pedro was in there. Comes out to Kante, right hand side. Kante again, and again this time Hazard gets possession. Once again, this is Hazard on the near side. Hazard cuts in field, good skills. Kovacic now takes possession. Now here's Azpilicueta. Good game now on this. The game now being played in the Arsenal half. 61.5 minutes. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. What a game here at the at Stamford Bridge. Now on the left hand side it goes. Kovacic has it on the left. 2-2, and now Arsenal looking to try and find a way through. Jorginho involved once again. Kovacic is there. Jorginho wants the ball, but he plays it back to David Luiz. Rated out to the right hand side, and Cesar Azpilicueta infield this time. Good ball through. Chance here for Morata. Good save. Flag is up for offside though. Near side for linesman. Put his flag up straight away against Alvaro Morata, and it's behind for an offside. Let's have a look at it again on the replay. Good decision. Good decision again from the officials. Haven't really put a foot wrong tonight, the referees or the two linesmen. Actually, it was a very brave save by Petacek because it actually hit him smack bang in the face. Earlier today, Premier League scorelines: Cardiff 0, Newcastle 0, Everton 2, Southampton 1, Leicester 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, West Ham 1, Bournemouth 2. And of course, Tottenham 3, Fulham 1 was another scoreline as well. As the shot comes in from Hazard and behind, will it go behind for a corner? Yes, it will. Kennedy missed a penalty in the Newcastle Cardiff game. Jamie Vardy was sent off in Leicester's 2-0 win. Harry Kane scored the third goal for Spurs in their win over Fulham and now has scored in August for the very first time. And West Ham still having problems in London Stadium, being beaten 2-1 by Eddie Howe's ball. Corner play back here towards Jorginho. Shoots deflected. Made it a little awkward for Cech. Had to dive to his left. Readjust his feet a little bit. But he got both hands behind the ball and did really well. One kick forward once again. 2-2 it remains here. 63.5 minutes gone here at Stamford Bridge. The Saturday game live. And what a game it is. Off limits comes Cech. Right footed. Gets it away. Halfway up the field it goes. No goals in his second half. All 4 goals coming in the first half. And again, good defending there by Guenarucci. He's done really well. I think he's put some good tackles in. At the moment, Arsenal on course for a 2-2 draw, when it looked to all intents and purposes they were dead and buried at 2-0 down. But not on your Nelly. They have really come striding back, and it could go either way. Aubameyang has put the ball in the back of the net, but it was quite rightly I should say, ruled out for an offside decision. And I really have enjoyed this match. It's been an immense game of football to describe and commentate on, and I hope you guys at home listening along have enjoyed every kick what we've brought to you here on this audio commentary. Here's Hazard for Chelsea. 2-2 it remains. Here comes the cross, deflected. It'll fall from Mustafi, gets it away. Mustafi does get that away, but it comes as far as Luis, 10 yards inside the Arsenal half. Freds it just to the right of him, and Runninger is there. Runninger chips it out to the left. Alonso tries to hit a first time crossing towards Morata, who just strayed offside a little bit. Then the shot comes in from, I think it might have been Hazard. It deflects away. Still it remains 2-2. 25 minutes to play of the second half. Plenty of time for a winning goal here from either of these two great London rivals. And here's Iwobi, who got the equalising goal just 3 minutes before the break, and he's won a free kick just on halfway line. Referee Mr. Martin Atkinson of West Yorkshire deciding that's a foul there by Runninger. In fact, it wasn't Runninger, it was N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante tripped his man quite concussively there. Free kick. Also have a little bit of respite as well as it happens. 2-2 it remains. What a match this has been here. With a great first half. Second half has just died down a little bit in terms of end-to-end excitement, but still an exciting game. Plenty of football and plenty of incidents here. And just the one yellow card from my knowledge, and that was towards Granit Xhaka of Arsenal for an understandably poor challenge in the first half. This is Aspilicueta on the right hand side for Chelsea. Back in field once again. Chelsea knocking on the door for a third time. Hazard has possession deep inside Arsenal territory towards the edge of the D, where he tries to find Morata. Morata hounded out by 2 Arsenal defenders up against him, and they're just hoofing out for a throw-in. It's going to be a change here. Aaron Ramsey about to come on here for Arsenal, make their second substitution. It remains 2-2. I've said it about 4 times in the last 5 minutes, Juicy Flipper, but nice to have you with us. You missed all the excitement in the first half, you have. Goals after 8-9 minutes from Pedro, and then goal after 19 minutes from Morata put Chelsea 2-0 up. Arsenal had by then missed 3 gilt-edged chances, and then they came back in the 36 minutes. Mkhitaryan with a great goal, shot from 20 yards, went in, and then 2-2. Iwobi tapping in, but no more than 7 yards out, making it 2-2. Here's a chance now for Pedro. Lines up Aspilicueta towards the back post. They all jump for it, and Arsenal just about getting away at that back post. Out for a Chelsea throw-in. And it looks as if we're going to have a substitution in a second or two, because Aaron Ramsey about to come on. And it's going to be Mesut Ozil he's replacing here. It's Mesut Ozil coming off. And it's going to be Aaron Ramsey coming on. And we've had 67 minutes. 67.5 minutes. So Arsenal have used 2, Chelsea have used 2, that's substitutes that is. And this game really teetering on the brink as we go to the halfway mark of the second half. It remains still Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2 here at Stamford Bridge in a real cracker-jack of a football match here. And it's been a really enjoyable game. I hope you've enjoyed it at home. I've almost as much as I've enjoyed it as well personally. So free kick, or throw in rather, to Chelsea. So 2-2 it does remain. Runninger has it on halfway. Runninger now running into a bit of space, finds Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta turns, finds Morata. Morata was tangled but wasn't brought down in or judged to be brought down according to the referee. Here comes the number 5 here, and that is Skolatis. Skolatis does lose the ball though on the Arsenal left hand side here. 68.5 minutes played. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2 here at Stamford Bridge. The Saturday game live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Tomorrow Burnley Watford. We're not sure if it's going to be live or a delayed commentary yet. We'll let you know at some point earlier tomorrow. Meanwhile, Chelsea have it on the far side. 2-2 it remains. Game really in the balance here. Next goal's probably going to be the winning one, you would think. Azpilicueta here. Inside it goes. Here's Pedro. Pedro now looking to find Alonso on the far side. Surely our goal's going to be in the offing here. And here, I'll answer that question in a minute. It's that ball from Hazard goes right across the goal. Now then, I know this question as well, Panini, and I know it for a simple reason. I remember the Cup Winners' Cup final in 1994. I'm gonna answer that question in a minute. Don't anyone tell me the answer. I know it, and I will give it to you live once we've seen this attack out, the ball out of play. Right, I can answer your question now. George Graham, because he won the Fairs Cup in 71 as a player and the Cup Winners' Cup in 94 as a manager. So George Graham is the answer to that question. Here comes Hazard for Chelsea. 2-2 it remains. 20 to go in this game. Crossing towards Morata, just couldn't reach Morata. Also only get it half clear. Kante to play the ball back. I've seen another spammer there. No spammers. I did warn you guys at the start. We've got 6 moderators on. Why would you want to be so stupid? Here's Azpilicueta now. What a game it has been. It has been an amazing game. Runninger now going forward. Over to the far side. Can he keep it in play? The answer is no. And the ball laid back. Final change being lined up here. Looks like Alexander Lacazette about to enter the fray here. We go into the closing stages of this match. I'm losing my voice here slowly away because it's been a cracking commentary, a cracking match to commentate on. Pedro has it, right hand side. Azpilicueta on the overlap, goes in field instead to Runninger. Runninger now just calms the play down. Finds Azpilicueta on the right hand side. Infield to Kante. Kante back to Azpilicueta, who instead finds Runninger. Runninger to Kante. Still remains 2 apiece here, and the next goal will be so crucial. Ball played in field once again, and Hazard trying to turn away from his man. The referee playing on. It shows advantage played by Mr. Atkinson, the referee. Still remains 2-2. All spammers will be removed, no questions asked. Fantastic. But it needs another reminder. Oh, that's a foul. That's got to be a foul there. The yellow card's going to come out. So is it? No, it's just a vanishing spray. It's a foul there on. Can't tell you who it was. It was certainly. Let's have a look here. It may have been. It's Kovacic has been brought down. That's a do know, and I'm just trying to work out the identity of the player. It's Torreira who's brought him down. Free kick, and it's about 25 yards out left of the D. in a very good area, and David Luiz, who we all know, despite the fact that he plays centre-back, can actually blast the ball into the back of the net. We're into the 73rd minute of the game. We had 72, in fact, and a half minutes. Alonso, Hazard and Luiz, the three-man committee. Now, Czech will be wary of what David Luiz can do, having been a former teammate of his for many, many years, and he'll have to face a few of these master blasters in training. Will it be Luiz with the right foot, I fancy, or will it be Hazard with the right foot, Alonso with the left? This really is make your mind up time. It looks as if it's going to be Luiz, and it is Luiz with his right foot, and he goes for a goal, and the goalkeeper, having to scamper to his right, makes a very good save at the near post. Full marks there for Petr Cech there. He made an absolute storming save, got across, scampered across. He's not the quickest of goalkeepers these days, like he used to be when he first came to English football back in 2004, but still, that was a really good save for the evergreen Czech Republic goalkeeper. And it remains 2-2. What a finish we're in for here. I don't know how many bets will be taken on this game being top of the list in the running order for match of the day this evening. You can watch that on BBC One later. Here's David Luiz, plays the ball out as far as to the far side. Now then, Arsenal 2-2. Of course, the Ryder Cup is coming up, of course. It's September the 28th. Of course, the 30th of September. And that will be... It's like the World Cup of golf, that is, the Ryder Cup. It's America against Europe, of course. This time being played in Europe. Meanwhile, back in this game, 2-2 between Arsenal and Chelsea. And on will be Lacazette. I would have thought Aubameyang will be the man he's replacing. No, it's a Welby. It looks as if they're going to go two-pronged here, Arsenal. And a Welby with a superb equaliser, making it 2-2. So Lacazette on after 75 minutes. Number 9, and Morata is also off, and Giroud is on. Substitution also after 75 minutes. All three substitutes now used by both teams. I can now put my pen down. remember it's 2-2. Giroud scored 105 goals in all competitions for Arsenal. I'm still waiting but need to confirm my answer, which is George Graham, who won both Arsenal's European trophies as a player and a manager. As a player, he won the first cup in 71, and in 94 they beat Parma in Copenhagen to win the European Cup Winners' Cup, for which he was the manager then. Alan Smith scoring after 20 minutes that night in Copenhagen. Meanwhile, it's Arsenal on the break here, and look at the space for Monreal. Monreal tries to shoot, and again, good defence. Excuse me, this time as Azpilicueta across there. Real opportunity there for Chelsea. Monreal has the throw-in level with the penalty area of Chelsea. It remains remarkably 2-2. Great match as Monreal now looks to try and settle things here for Arsenal. Aubameyang has it on the near side, gets the crossing. David Luiz half heads it away. Then it's back again with the number 11 here, Torreira. And now Ramsey takes over, the other substitutes. And Ramsey goes again, across the face of the goal. Keeper couldn't hold it, and in came Lacazette, and Kepa just about holds on. Lacazette getting one or two quizzical looks, and the Chelsea players, they felt Kepa was fouled there. But I think Lacazette had every right to go for that ball, because it was a little bit loose. Crossed back there again. Yeah, I think goalkeeper didn't hold it the first time from the Ramsey cross from the right hand side. Low cross here, loses it there. Lacazette had every right to go in there, along with Torreira. And also so close. Was so close to going in front for the first time in the contest. Then Panini confirms it. It was because he was bunged out. Yes, he was sacked because he took a bung over the Anderson Lampard deal. Mustafi meanwhile gets a booking for a foul on Eden Hazard, who shall we say felt that a little bit, if you could call it that. So Mustafi and Mustafi and Xhaka in the book for Arsenal. No Chelsea player booked as far as I can make out. Chelsea inside the penalty area. Hazard is back on his feet, thankfully, and then the ball played back. It was a poor ball. Just to remind you of earlier today, Cardiff Newcastle finished 0-0. Kennedy missed a penalty for the 10 men. Everton 2, Southampton 1. Richarlison back on form for Everton. Third goal already this season. Jamie Vardy sent off in Leicester's 2-0 win over Wolves. And West Ham's troubles at the London Stadium continue. Beaten 2-0 by Bournemouth. They led 1-0 at one stage. And Harry Kane scoring the third goal for Tottenham. And he scores his first ever senior goal in August, so we can't use that one against him now. As the cross comes in towards the penalty area and headed over by N'Golo Kante from something like 7 or 8 yards out. There was a good move back from Chelsea down the left hand side. Alonso involved again. Good weighted cross, and Kante is actually one of the smallest men on the field, going in behind the defender Skorakis and headed it over. That was a presentable chance that for Chelsea to go in the lead. 12 to play, just over. We've had 78.5 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. 2-2. Chelsea led 2-0. Arsenal came back to level the scores. They could have considerably gone 3-2 up as well, with a Welby missing a further chance just before the break. It's been a great afternoon here in West London, and it remains 2-2. Bellerin can't keep the ball away, up and going out. Both managers showing passion on the touchline. You never saw Wenger towards the end there. Wenger looked very jaded sort of a manager towards the end. 20 years, it'll never be repeated in English football for quite a long time. I don't think you'll ever see it again in my lifetime, unless Sean Dyche stays at Burnley for 20 years. Which team was Arsenal's one defeat in 1990-91? I'm trying to think of some of the defeats they've had. I would have said Commentary, but I think that was the next season. It wasn't Fulham. They weren't in the league in those days. Weren't in the Premier League in those days. I would have said Manchester United 6-2, but that was in the League Cup. I'd have to go through the history books for that one. I don't honestly know. Tottenham beat them in the FA Cup. I do remember that one. They didn't lose many games. I would have said Liverpool at Anfield, perhaps. I'm going to have a guess. Liverpool at Anfield, but I think I'm wrong. Here comes Chelsea though with Hazard into the penalty area and turned in from 6 yards. Marcos Alonso for Chelsea. It looks like it could win him the match now at 3 points. 10 minutes to go, and we may have a winning goal. And Hazard made it all possible. Good run down the left hand side. A lovely little cross back across the 6 yard area, and rifled in with the left foot with a lot of aplomb by Marcos Alonso, who's probably been the best player in the match. And in fact, it was Chelsea, remarkably, that won that day. They won 2-1 now, I seem to remember. But let's get back to the present day. And again, good football here. Alonso started, in fact, by moving the ball forward. Hazard here, good skills. Leaves 2 Arsenal defenders for dead. Pulls the ball back, and inside the 6 yard box, Alonso just stabs it in with his left foot. Sweeps it in with his left foot and underchecks body. And it's 3-2 in a remarkable 5-goal throw. In fact, it goes through his legs. Sarri absolutely jimming. Meanwhile, at the other end, it's a 3-kick to Arsenal. It's 3-2 Chelsea. What a game. And Arsenal have to come from behind a second time. Henry, no, he can't make any more substitutions. There's a man receiving treatment. It's Pedro for cramp. What a game this has been. 9 minutes. 8.5 minutes actually to play. What a match this has been. I hope you're enjoying it here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. And plenty more where that came from this season. Big games. We'll have Chris and Russ commentating as well throughout the season, not just myself. It's just the unavailability of the two of them at the moment is allowing me to do most of the commentaries at the start of the season. 3 kick now taken by Mkhitaryan towards the back post. And that's got to be a corner to Arsenal, conceded by the goal scorer Alonso. It's a corner. It's 3-2. Tim, I'm not got the budget to do that. This is done on a very small budget, honestly. If you see the setup, you'd understand why. Anyway, back to the game. It's a one-man operation. I can't be doing the graphics as well as the commentary. I've got to keep on the commentary, hence why it's called audio commentaries. Anyway, 7.5 minutes to go. Arsenal have a corner, 3-2 down. Into the penalty area it goes. Nodded out once again. Oh, what a match this has been. And here comes Mkhitaryan once more. And he wanted, well, it looked as if it was an Arsenal throw-in. It's gone the other way. In fact, Chelsea get the throw-in almost over with their own penalty area on the far side. Well, this is what happened again. Guendouzi and Hazard there in a little running battle. I have to say Guendouzi's had a very good game. And now I'm going to have the casting votes. I think we haven't mentioned JB Man in the match, but I'll vote tonight because everyone else is disinterested. But I'm sure there'll be one or two candidates. You can vote if you want. You've got about 7 minutes if you want to vote for the JB Man in the match this evening. We've lost Ross Burnley, that's why he's been at Leeds. Robin Leeds had a terrific result today. They're keeping up the pace at the top of the league, and I think they've got the setup, the balance absolutely all right. Yes, Everton are looking fantastic. So a bit of their 2-1 win earlier today while prepping for this game. And it looks absolutely stunning. Certainly in the first half, although Southampton came back strong with Ings striking early on in the second half. But here comes Guendouzi. 84 minutes gone, 6 to play plus stoppage time. What a finish this is going to be now. One ball forward. Real opportunity here for Bellerin. He's one of the quickest players in the game. Certainly right back, that's for sure. But well, if it stays this way, Arsenal Fan TV will be in meltdown, I tell you. Meltdown. Throwing level with the area. Here is the number 11, Torreira. Torreira now to Bellerin. Back to Mkhitaryan. Oh, he's lost out this time. And here come Chelsea now looking to kill the game off with a potential fourth. They've got a free kick. Foul on Eden Hazard, who's really made the difference since coming on as a substitute. Lee's always looked good, but always fails to deliver. Don't tell Russ Burden that, will you? He'll kill you. Yes, our Yorkshire voice of the channel. He will be covering most of the Friday night games, should he be available, apart from when Leeds are playing, and we do have some Friday night games coming up. We didn't do it on last night, due to all of us being very busy. Chris Whiteman is also absent at the moment until he's ready enough to come back to commentate. Well, you'll have to bear with me. And there's a chance inside the area, and Hazard's shot is saved by the legs of Cech. 4.5 minutes left to play. Arsenal now looking very tired. All 3 substitutions have been used by both teams in what has been an absolute epic here this afternoon. And we'll be with you until about 7:25. Here comes Hazard now towards the area. Good football again from Chelsea, looking to just run down the clock. Kante now has got Azpilicueta running down the right hand side. What a potential victory this is going to be for Chelsea. 6 points out of a possible 6. Looks like Sarri's got them playing and have shown great character. Arsenal will take a few positives, but I think the mood on Arsenal Fan TV will be one of anger, as it usually is every other week on that channel. I'll tell you what, it'll be a meltdown tonight. Meltdown Arsenal Fan TV. And I think if you're struggling for somebody to watch on tonight, I'd tell YouTube or watch Arsenal Fan TV after we've come off the air. Here comes Chelsea now, looking to steer it up. Hazard shoots inside the area, turned away superbly by the goalkeeper. Almost making it 4-2. Good football again. Pulled back. It might have been actually Olivier Giroud, incidentally. He's quite bigger than Hazard, actually. Was Giroud almost scoring against his old club? They've taken the corner short, and there's only 3 or 4 in the penalty area. understandably so. Less than 3 minutes to play plus stoppage time. Arsenal really need to get the ball at the other end if they're going to get a point here. But what a terrific advert this game has been for Premier League football. No play acting. We've only had 2 yellow cards in the entire 87.5 minutes we've been playing. It has been a very clean game, and I don't think we can moan too much about that. Free kick to Arsenal, and they wanted to get on with it. Chelsea wasted time. Azpilicueta now claiming he's got cramp. I just hope they don't resort to all this time wasting nonsense. It's going to ruin what has been a remarkable game of football, played beautifully by 22 players that have really shown commitment, heart and desire out there today. Admittedly, the defending has not been of a very high standard, but when you're a neutral like me, who cares? Who gives a damn? When you come out and put the mic on and you commentate on football, you expect a good football game. We certainly haven't been disappointed in that respect. Here is number 29 here, Guendouzi. Guendouzi now keeps possession. Arsenal now have to come forward. Xhaka, good ball out to the far side. Bellerin, this needs to be a good cross. It's too deep. It's too deep, and the ball's drifted out of play and behind for a goal kick. That was a poor cross by Hector Bellerin. 1 minute and 10 to go. 70 seconds of normal time remains. I'm just seeing the goal there from Alonso, swept in with his left foot. And once again the spammer's out in force. Hopefully Panini will be on top of that for me. Why do you keep doing it, guys? You know there's 5 or 6 different moderators on at any one time, and you still spam. Honestly, someone from YouTube is going to get a full volley from a tongue lashing from me if this keeps continuing all season. But we're inside the last 30 seconds of normal time. Arsenal really up against it with the clock, that's for sure. And then it'll be down to the 4th official below me to see how long they will be left to play. One ball forward, still a chance here for Ramsey. Ramsey hits it, and it's on the roof of the net. That was so unlucky, and the Welshman couldn't have hit that any sweeter. 25 yards right of centre. Ramsey struck it. It was a fantastic try. Good chest control, hits it on the right foot. It swerves a bit, which causes the goalkeeper Kepa to have 1 or 2 problems. We've now played in 90 minutes. The ball, as I said then, it's on the roof of the net. And only, 3 added minutes, so it has been a free flowing second half, in all fairness to Martin Atkinson, and full marks to him. And I think 3 minutes is just about right. And we're 15 seconds into that 3 minutes now. And Kepa, understandably, taking as much time as he possibly can without incurring the referee's wrath. Arsenal 3-2 down, they got back they were 2-0 down at one stage, got back to 2-2 on the break, and how costly that miss from Iwobi might well prove to be, because Alonso swept in after 80 minutes. I'm going to give the man of the match to Marcos Alonso of Chelsea. Been consistent as hell all day. Kepa keeps it in on the far side. Nearly couldn't prevent it from going behind for a corner. Excuse me. I'm almost out of voice here, folks. Do forgive me. We'll play 1 of the 3 minutes in what's been a high octane game. We'll be with you until 7 this evening. What a match it has been, and one really for the archives, because these will be going into the archives and of course on demand for you to listen. I was looking back at some of the old commentaries from 2 or 3 years ago, and wow, I'll have to try and save some for the Burnley match. I don't think I'll be saying anything too much really, Tim, before tomorrow, but I'll be drinking plenty of lubricants, that's for sure, before the game. But well, if you're not an Arsenal fan, Arsenal Fan TV is going to be some viewing. These fans are not happy. But surely there's positives to take out of this defeat. And it looks as if for the first time since 1992-93, Arsenal are going to lose their first 2 league matches in a season. And they haven't done that, as I said, since the inaugural Premier League over 25 years ago. That's some statement. Here's the ball back towards the goalkeeper. We're in for some finish now. 1 minute of stoppage time left to play. Cheika's got to stop laking about and get it forward. And he can't find Monreal with that ball. It was a poor ball. I think some of the Arsenal fans have gone already, but they've got a free kick. Fouled by the former Arsenal man Olivier Giroud. Emery said, get forward, he said, get forward. Can Arsenal get an equaliser? Make it 3-3. What an entertaining game this has been. And I have to say credit to both teams for putting on a superb exhibition of non-stop attacking thrills. As that ball is pumped into the area once more. There's 10 seconds of the stoppage time to go. And Chelsea now 2 against 1 in their favour. And they're both onside. It's Hazard leading the charge. Giroud is there far side. Giroud to finish it once and for all. And Pedicek with the save. And Arsenal nearly went 4-2 down. We're now playing time added on at the end of time added on. But there's no more. Arsenal beaten again. And that's the first time since 1992 they've lost their opening 2 games in a league season. Chelsea have won 3-2. They keep their 100% record. Pedro striking after 9 minutes. Then they doubled the lead after 20 minutes through Morata. Then back came Arsenal through Mkhitaryan after 36. And then 4 minutes on half-time, Iwobi with the equaliser. He had a gilded chance at 2-2 before the break to make it 3-2 Arsenal. But he didn't take it. Both teams had brilliant opportunities. Aubameyang had a goal rightfully chalked up for offside earlier on. And then right at the end, 10 minutes from the end, Marcos Alonso, the JB man of the match, swept in to make it 3-2. What a game. And what value that the 38,000 will have had this afternoon in terms of value for money. Really was. Arsenal disconsolate, disappointed. Arsenal fan TV tonight will be in meltdown. The Arsenal fans looked very, very stern-faced indeed from what I saw. And God help Robbie and the guys there. They have a thankless task with every defeat that comes their way. But what a marvellous game. And I have to say, as a neutral, it was very much an enjoyable experience. A real good game. A real advert for Premier League football. Only 2 yellow cards in the entire 90 minutes though. That's a rarity in a game of such importance and so much riding on it. And with all due respect to people like Arsene Wenger and Jose Mourinho, I think them not being there meant it to be the contest it really was. Panini says, JB Live, hashtag Chelsea might win the Europa League or the FA Cup. Arsenal, it's going to be an empty season with Europa. Semi-final with maybe Burnley. I think that's a bit optimistic. We only just got past Istanbul in the last round, and Olympiacos on Thursday will not be easy, let me tell you. But all the Chelsea players getting a marvellous reception from the fans. I really have enjoyed it. It's probably the best game of the match. So let's check what's coming up tomorrow. We will be live from Turf Moor. We may well be live. It may well be pre-recorded from Turf Moor. But one way or the other, you'll be hearing that match between Burnley and Watford in the next 24 hours. And also Monday night, there's Crystal Palace Liverpool as well. But I have to say, what a marvellous game. And very much enjoyed it. And I very much enjoyed bringing it to you live. Earlier today, Newcastle and Cardiff 0-0. Kennedy missed a 96-minute penalty in that one. Harry Kane scored for the first time ever in August when Spurs beat Fulham 3-1 at Wembley. And also West Ham having problems, losing 2-1 against Bournemouth, and Leicester winning 2-0 against Wolves, who actually had their goal. And Leicester actually had Jamie Vardy sent off in that game. So a lot happening there. A lot happening this afternoon. Everton winning 2-1 as well. So that's the story from Stamford Bridge, and that's where we've got to leave it. But Arsenal have lost both their Premier League matches for the very first time since 92-93. So just to remind you of the scores: Cardiff 0. Isaac Hayden also was sent off in that game. Cardiff 0, Newcastle 0. Isaac Hayden was sent off in that game. Spurs 3, Fulham 1. That finished at Wembley, as well as Harry Kane in that match. That was his first goal in 15 career Premier League games in August, which made it 3-1. And that's their first time winning their first 2 games since 2014-15. All the other goal scorers Lucas and Trippier as well, and Rodriguez, and that was the way it finished there. But disappointment for Arsenal. Arsenal Fan TV will be in meltdown tonight, but it's Chelsea who take the spoils. I hope you very much enjoyed it. We're just about out of time here at Stamford Bridge. It's been a remarkable game of football, and I will sign off with this message from Benitez. He says, "Oh well, JB Live, goodbye for now. Another top of the league commentary, sir. Fantastic, and thank you as well for doing your job tonight as moderator. It's been a remarkable afternoon's football here. Chelsea 2 up and coasting, Arsenal back to 2-2 at half time, and then 10 minutes from the end, Marcos Alonso, the JB man in the match with a late goal. Chelsea 6 points out of a possible 6. For Arsenal, a lot of soul searching to do if they're going to get back in the front for the top 4. Thank you very much for watching. From me, JB, have a wonderful evening, and I'll leave you with the news that Chelsea have beaten Arsenal in a real thriller by 3 goals to 2. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful Saturday evening. Good night.